Hi guys, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about two MNKYhead products. They're the last two that I haven't reviewed yet, and they are Orangutan Opulence Wash and Wax and foamx Car Wash Additive. Wash and Wax is just that. Wash and protect. High gloss formula, long lasting. Directions. Embrace the MNKYhead vibe. For that opulent hand wash, mix 2 ounces with 3 gallons of water, or for the foamy aficionados out there, introduce it to your foam gun and watch as your vehicle gets cloaked in luxurious lather. Gently massage and rinse, revealing a vehicular veneer so vibrant that even the sun might shy away from this shine. It's a whole paragraph and they don't tell you how much to put in your foam cannon. All right, so they're saying 2 ounces with 3 gallons of water. So if a gallon is 128 ounces, that's what? 384 divided by 2, it's like 190 to 1. If it's 190 to 1 and a foam cannon does like 15 to 1, 190 divided by 12 is like, 190 divided by 15 is like 12. So we gotta do like 1 to 12 in a foam cannon, which is like 80 mLs to a full cannon, give or take. So we'll try like an ounce with a half a cannon, see how that goes. That should be pretty close to what they're targeting inside the bucket, assuming that that's the dilution that you want. So assuming that we're going to do 500 mLs in total, and this is the car wash additive, that's stinky. This one doesn't really have a scent. Although my nose is still blocked up because I was sick. I'm just gonna do the math on this really quick. 128 times 3, that's 3 gallons of water. They're telling you to put 2 ounces in, so let's divide that by 2. So they're looking for 192 to 1. We can use the MJJC Foam Cannon S because that one is here. So we'll divide 192 by 12 because that does like 12 to 1. So we've got a 1 to 16 is what we're trying to get in there. So 500 divided by 16, 31 mLs in a half of a cannon. So that's about an ounce actually. So that was pretty close. Cool. I guess I don't suck at math. Math is one of those things, if you keep doing it, you can keep doing it, but if you don't do it, then you can't do it, kind of thing. At least that's what I found over my years. So, I've got 31 in there, and then we're going to go total to 500. So let me just, I'm gonna grab some water in here. In total, I want 500 mLs in this cannon. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to fill this up to 100. And then we'll put another 400 of water in. And what I like to do is use the same graduated cylinder. That way I'm not like leaving anything down below. You know what I mean? A little bit of soap left in here. I want to make sure I'm getting every bit of it. I'm only using 30 mLs. So I will say 30 mLs is about what I would use of Incredible Suds for a half a cannon. It's about what I would use for Pans soap for a half a cannon. And you can see, at least on the S, the lines are pretty good. We're at 400 right now, but not all foam cannons are. So for what it's worth, you could probably follow the lines on the S. So there's the 500, I'm right at the 500 line, that's all cool. So let's take this, put that on there. You can see we've got this yellowish tint. So let's see how she does. Let's try this out. This is all the way to the plus. Okay. Little runny, but not bad. Not bad at all. So let's try with a little bit of foamx in it. I'm still at like 450. So we see that it can foam with just the soap, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add 15 mLs of foamx into this bottle. Dang, this is thick. Because they don't tell you how much to put on this one. It just says, ensure your vehicle is in the mood, add a bit of foamx to your regular car soap, give it a sassy MNKYhead shake, and unleash the foam frenzy. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this foam cannon and I'm gonna foam half the car. Then I'm gonna dump this into what's left of this and foam the other half of the car. Because 500 mLs will get me around this car, and that would mean that half of the car is just the 1 ounce of soap to half of a cannon, and the other half of the car is 1 ounce of soap and 1 ounce of foamx to half of a cannon. Does that make sense? Because I'm gonna be about halfway through the cannon, so that's why I'm putting half the foamx of the amount of wash and wax. Hopefully you're following this. So we're gonna set up the camera here. I'm gonna go down this side and get the hood. Then I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna add, and then we're gonna go down the other side. And we'll see what the cleaning power is like. Okay, so where am I at? Okay, did 2 sides, went through half of my cannon. I'm right below the 300 mark right now. I gave it a little bit of extra out of the bottle just to make it fair. So what we should have right now is the equivalent of having 1 ounce of foamx and 1 ounce of orangutan opulence in a half cannon, or 2 ounces of each to a full cannon. Oh, I guess I should shake it up a little bit more. All right, I mean, it's definitely better, but it's still runny. You can see the back versus the side, like look at the windows there. Granted, the side's been dwelling for a minute. Not a lot of slickness. Not very, I don't know, I don't think it's a great user experience, just in general. You don't have the scent, you don't have the foam. I mean, it is breaking down the dirt to a degree, but that's more the agitation than it is the chemical. I don't really see like dirt running down the car like you normally would. So, yeah, I mean, this is another one that I'm not really that impressed with. And this is a wash and wax, so I would expect there to be some level of slickness, but it just doesn't seem to have it. And I am using the dilution that they recommend for the bucket. My PIR matches what would be in my bucket if I was doing a bucket wash. Pretty good at math. You could feel free to check me in the comments, but they're calling for 200 to 1 PIR. Because my car is out in the sun and covered with soap, I'm just going to hit it with Apex and finish it. So that was Apex Auto Wash. 2 ounces in a full cannon. And yeah, you can clearly see the difference there. And I'm not, I don't know, not doing this as a thing to promote foamx EOD. but I just happen to have the bottle sitting there. It's the closest one to empty that I have. So yeah, I don't know. I will say it's hard to objectively test these things because I don't like to give a review that's negative or could be conceived as negative without doing proper testings. Like, I've watched videos before where, you know, somebody's like, well, I can't get this soap to foam, right? Like, well, I don't know. Like, there was a pretty popular one. It was like on Clean by Pans soap. And dude wasn't able to get it to foam, but he didn't try like, hey, let me test out, let me add a little bit more. Let me try DI water. You know, like, there were no alternatives given. So, you know, I feel like adding the foaming bit should have helped quite a bit because it's not really necessary. I wash cars on YouTube and people expect you to be a scientist, but at the end of the day, I just want to clean a clean car and have a good experience. And I'm not having the greatest of experience with these. We've gotten the soap off of that. We can play a little bit more now. So let's try something else. So I'm gonna add, let's double this. So I did 30 mLs to a half of a cannon. So this time I'm gonna do another 30 mLs. And there was a little bit of foamx in there. So we're gonna do 30 mLs, same number. But this time, I'm only gonna go to 250 milliliters. So we're basically just gonna cut it in half, okay? We're gonna double our dilution, double the amount of soap. So this would be the equivalence of putting 120 mLs or 4 ounces in a full cannon, right? 30 and a quarter cannon. All right. So we have 250 total, and of that 250, 30 is soap, and that graduated cylinder needs to be cleaned out. So this should foam crazy, because any other soap with the same dilution would be foam crazy. So let's see how it is. Okay, that's better, it's better. Let me just spray the back of the car. Let's just wash the back of the car again. Still runny, but this is double the amount of the Apex that you just saw. And Apex is pretty cheap. And there are other soaps like Incredible Suds that actually foam a little bit better than it. So I don't know there's much of an excuse. Now I have better slickness on my towel now, or my mitt. Definitely feels better. I don't know. I just feel like it should do better at that dilution. I really do. I feel like it should foam more. So I just did 30 mLs in a quarter of a cannon, just to eliminate the variable of this particular cannon, this foam cannon S. Here I have the same graduated cylinder, and I just did 30 mLs of soap in 250 mLs of water. I'm gonna do less. Let's do 20. So I'll put Apex. This is Apex Auto Wash. And there's 20, as you can see. 20 mLs. So we're going to put that in here. No foaming additive, just that. So now I have a total of 120. I'm going to need some more water. Okay. That's 220. We'll do another 30 in here. Okay. So I went from 30 of soap and total 250 volume, so meaning that 220 of it would be water, to 20 soap and 230 water, which is actually a pretty big difference. It's like 2/3 the dilution. So let's try this. Same foam cannon, same pressure washer, same driveway. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to be fair here. I really am. I'm trying, but there's a reality where the monkey head just isn't foaming. I mean, it is, but it's not. It really doesn't have a lot of cling, and the foamx additive helped, but I mean, not a lot. So, you know, I'm using 30% less soap and getting double the foam, something thereabouts with the same cannon. If I'm missing something, guys, call it out, because I'm not looking to do a hit piece on anybody. I'm not looking to whatever, but I am honest. So in my opinion, the monkey head requires you to put a lot of product into the bottle in order to get it to foam. double a competitor and almost double a competitor to get less foam. And I don't know, I feel it should be more concentrated. DIY detail at those same dilutions would have performed the same as the Apex did. Like, those two are pretty neck and neck, and that's also a really inexpensive soap as well that a lot of people use and a lot of people know and like. It just doesn't seem to have the, and I saw the same thing with the other one, the Easy Wash. Like, it was hard to get it to foam, it wasn't very effective, it just wasn't a great experience. You saw what the Apex did. Apex is like dirt cheap. I think it's actually cheaper than the MNKYhead, and it has like the right thread on it. So if you want to use a metering tip with like a Griot's cannon or a metering tip with the MJJC V3 or Pro V2 that has the inner threads in there, you could totally do that. So you've got a lot more options. This is an SV3. This has no metering tip in it. It just is. And I did lose my O-ring somehow, so we'll get that fixed. But that's why it was leaking when I was shaking it around, because my O-ring fell out on the ground. So I guess unfortunately that's a wrap on the MNKYhead line. The wheel and tire cleaners were good. Or wheel cleaner plus, or all wheels plus, I guess it's called. The tire dressing was good. The PRV conditioner worked well. Silux wasn't bad. It doesn't seem to have a lot of like chemical properties, like the ability to push off chemicals. There wasn't really anything here that was truly exceptional though. So I don't know, it just kind of was what it was. I was battling the bottles in a lot of the videos, the sprayers. The sprayers are because of the bottles. Obviously, like I said, they do a different sprayer in 32 ounce. You can get a Tolco. But if I'm testing products, I'm typically testing the smallest quantity that they offer. I mean, honestly, in the grand scheme of chemicals and all chemical manufacturers, I'd love to see every single manufacturer offer like an 8 ounce, like a kit with an 8 ounce of everything they make that you could just buy for like, $150 shipped or something along those lines, and get like one of every chemical they have to try out their whole line. And then don't even offer 16s, just go right to 32. I think that would be sweet. Because then you could just order the products that you actually like, and it would be a lot less expensive to do testing and try new things and all of that stuff. And I realize they probably have fear about like, okay, well, if you're buying an 8 ounce bottle, then there's shipping and everything involved with it. But I don't know, if it was like a kit, I think that would be cool. G-Technic does something like that, but they're the only ones I know of that do. Yeah, I mean, the soaps I didn't love. I had trouble getting them foaming. I had trouble with their cleaning ability. I find that other common soaps that are pretty inexpensive work better and are, less money. I would recommend sticking with some of the ones that I've recommended in the past, like, Koshkemi GSF or Detail Co., Clean Shampoo, Armor, Apex, DIY Detail, the CarPro products, Reset, and like they all seem to perform better. They foam better, they have better cleaning action, better slickness on your sponge. And the foam, like I realize the foam is like pretty and stuff, but with the foam comes like the floatiness and the stickiness and the encapsulation of dirt. The foam adds some level of safety to the car. So not having the foam is not just about not having a foam party, it's also about your mitt floating over the surface without marring the paint. So I think that it is an important part to a degree. There is a level where it needs to foam. Now certain things, like if you've got a really alkaline shampoo like Built Handler Touchless, for example, or Labo Cosmetica or something like that, their high pH shampoo, it's kind of normal for a really alkaline shampoo to not foam heavy, because it's designed to run and designed to be used at thinner dilutions. But when we're talking about like wash and waxes or neutral soaps, like it just doesn't make sense to me why we would have something that doesn't foam at the dilutions that are specified on the bottle. And granted, like, okay, so they don't really specify what's put in the cannon, so I doubled it and still wasn't really effective. So if you're interested in trying out the line, they'll be available on secondhand detailing. You're more than welcome to reach out to me. Normally what I do is I sell everything for half off. I bought this line, I paid money for it, but I also pay money for all of the other ones that I've given, reviews over the years. It's very rare that a brand sends me like a whole line of products. It's happened 1 or 2 times, but most of the stuff on the channel I've bought with my own money. This was one of them. Now I've sat on this for about a year. I've had it for quite a while. None of it has been here long enough to go bad. I've had other chemicals a lot longer without issues. I do appreciate the fact that they make it in the USA. It's made in Florida by Horizon Manufacturing. The marketing forward approach to the products I don't really align with. And I mean, I think it's just one of those things. It's not for me. We're not being serious enough. We're being very goofy, and it's like, well, if we were just a little bit more serious, maybe we could make a product that works a little bit better and has more clear instructions and allows people to have a better experience. And really, that's all I want. I want to wash a clean car, and I want to have a good experience doing it. That's it. I want to hang out in my garage, clean cars. So that's all I have for today. Like I said, I feel I really tried. If you feel as though I didn't, let me know what you think I could have done differently, and I'm happy to, as long as I still have the products floating around here, happy to try other things, do another video, stuff like that. I feel as though I'm being pretty fair. It's not often that I give a negative review. I don't know. When I have a product that doesn't perform, I try to eliminate some variables, right? So I tried doubling the foam. I'm already using DI water, so I don't really have the ability to pull like hardness out of the equation. There is no hardness. My TDS is 0, like actual 0. In case you don't believe me, I pressed the hold button while it was in the tank, 0. That's coming out of my pressure washer, 0. That's what's in the bucket, 0. So like there isn't hardness, there isn't minerals, there isn't any of that stuff coming into the equation. And you saw, Apex perform with 2/3 the product. So after watching this, I'd like you guys to let me know what you want me to review next. So here's what I have available to me right now. I have CarPro, I have FineLab, I have Maniac, I have foamx, I have Inovacar, I have Carbon Collective, Nexen, Garage Therapy, Mile Deep, Yum. All of those are here. So if there's any particular line that you want to see next, let me know. Especially if there's a product that you want to see me do, I'll try to do that one first. Let me know. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all the support. There will be links in descriptions to these and other products. Anytime you follow those links, it helps out my channel, and I really appreciate that. I'm buying all of this stuff on my own. So the fact that you guys use my affiliate links and you shop with places like the House of Rags and NextLed and Obsessed Garage and Detail Co. and DIY Detail and now actually Carzilla. There will be a Carzilla link in my description as well for all of my friends in Canada. I really appreciate the support. It helps me to get kickbacks to buy more products, to do more things. I run the channel at a very net zero. So any money that comes in gets reinvested in products or equipment to make the videos better. So thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a great weekend.